Hello everyone. I am Raksha Shrivastava and today I'll be discussing the most important event in 21st century, that is the 9/11 attacks on America, which held in the year 2001 on September of 11th. So these are known as 9/11, that is 11th is the date and 9th is the month. Okay, so these are the two towers in which this attack was carried on. They were carried by a group of hijackers who hijacked a plane full of passengers. Actually, they hijacked total of four planes, and two of them were bombarded into these two towers, and approximately 3,000 people were killed in a single day in a matter of few minutes. So this was a very gruesome attack which killed many people, and it was the greatest attack in America's history. America, which is the superpower of the world. Okay, so let's get to a little history that how these attacks have been carried on. So this is the picture of the Red Army, which is the USSR army, which invaded Afghanistan, and it left in 1989. So after it left Afghanistan in 1989, so there were Mujahideens who were fighting this Red Army in Afghanistan, and America was supporting these Mujahideens against USSR. So this led to the birth of the main accused of 9/11 attacks, that is Osama bin Laden. He was constantly getting supplies and the help from USA against USSR. But after the Soviet army left and after the collapse of Soviet Union in 1991, the same Osama bin Laden turned against America. He declared war on America and he conducted 9/11 after few years. So that is a different story, that how he turned against America and why he turned against America. Many theories say that he used Saudi Arabia as a point where he would launch attacks against Afghanistan or uh, somewhere around Saudi Arabia. So Osama bin Laden was not very happy with Saudi Arabia being used by America. So you must all know that America has many military bases around the world, many, approx 700 to 800. Okay, so these are the photos of Mujahideens who have been like fighting in Afghanistan, and who are the terror outfits actually. Okay, so these are the photos which you see are of the hijackers who actually carried the 9/11 attacks. Out of those, you can see the airline numbers even written here: 11, 77, 93, and 175. So out of these, three were known as muscle hijackers and one was the main hijacker. So who is the muscle hijacker? Muscle hijackers are those who actually take control of the people, right? They are known as muscle hijackers. And the main hijacker is the one who flies the aeroplane. So, okay, this is a very famous photo. You can see these are the photos of American airport where these hijackers are boarding the flights. These are two of those photos. You can see these are the terrorists who are boarding the flight and they are actually being recorded in the CCTV camera of the airport. Okay, so there's a very conflicting story that how it happened, how such a big attack was carried on the superpower of the world, right? So you must know about the two important organizations of America, that is the FBI and the CIA. So many people say that these attacks were carried on because of the discoordination between these two organizations. FBI basically works within the United States and CIA works outside the United States, right? They both are intelligence working organizations, but their scope of work is different. You would be like very surprised to know that CIA actually knew that some people related to Al-Qaeda are already in America. They were in America for more than a year before the attack, or almost a year, but still they couldn't coordinate with FBI so that these attacks could be avoided or could have been averted. No, this is the one of the biggest failures of American intelligence. Okay, so these are the actual photos when those planes bombarded into the building. You can see in the first photo that one building is already aflame and second plane is going into the building. That is the south tower, the second one. This one is the south tower and this is the north tower, which was hit first and this was hit second. You can see the flames coming out. I mean, the whole aeroplane is into the tower. People were burning, the fuel was burning of the aeroplane. People had burns, and those who were above those buildings, above the point of attack, had no chance of survival. They were wasted, like they had no escape. Okay, you can see another photo where one tower is already burning and second plane is about to hit this tower. It is the south tower and this is the north tower, right? South tower was the first to go down, though it was hit after the north tower. It was the first to go down. It collapsed completely, right? It was burned to the ground. So these are the some news outlets which covered these attacks at the time. You can see the Guardian Post, you can see the CNN, that they were just reporting, and you can see those photos and those smoke coming out. How gruesome this attack was. So these are some of more photos. You can see the dust, and you can actually see it on people. You can see those dust on the people. You can see those firefighters. They are just broken down. You can see some people carrying out, and you can see this destruction. I mean, just by looking at these pictures, you can see that how devastating this attack was. So there are many more photos to describe these attacks. I mean, you can see people are actually jumping from the building. I have already told you that the people above point of contact had no escape, so they were literally jumping out of the building just to save their lives. So you can see by looking at these pictures that how gruesome this attack was. The people are just jumping out of the window, and you can see the devastation. These two towers are burning down. You can see those airplanes. They were just smashing into those buildings. Now you can see people were searching for their loved ones. They were missing. They were just horrified at the attacks. You can see these are the posters that says that we will never forget. Yes, these were the people who lost their lives. These are some of the firefighters and the policemen, and you can see the disappointment at these attacks on their faces. Now, there comes a very interesting part in this whole incident where the president of the time of the United States, George W. Bush, was informed of the attacks. So, let me tell you a little story about it. He was attending a school at the time in Florida. So, when the first plane attacked the tower, he just jokingly said to his chief of White House staff that a pilot must be having a very bad day. That means कि pilot का दिन बहुत खराब चल रहा होगा. So he entered the room and he was interacting with the children there. But when the second plane attack, right after 17 minutes of the first attack, this he is the chief of White House staff, and he told George Bush that America is under attack. So he was escorted from there in an Air Force One plane. Next is the picture of the vice president of that time, and he is watching those attacks. Next, at the time, All the flights were grounded, whether commercial, whether passenger, all the flights were grounded. They were told that if a flight is not landing, then it had the order to shoot it down. This is the president of America, George Bush, who was coordinating the efforts to combat those attacks at that time. So, as I told you, four planes were hijacked, two went into the tower, one crashed in the Pentagon. Now, Pentagon is the Ministry of Defense of United States of America, right? It's the defense building you can call. And one plane crashed into one of its side. You can see it right here. You can see the newspaper outlets reporting that time. Some is saying apocalypse, some is saying world terror, some is saying war on America. It's like total chaos. Nobody knew what was happening, right? So this is a very famous photo where the president of the America, George Bush, um, went to the site and he told that those who did this will be brought to justice. So he's actually speaking on the speakerphone and he's just calming the public and consolidating them that yes, we will do what is needed. So aftermath, what happened after those attacks in 2001? America he accused Osama bin Laden and told him that we want him dead or alive, right? He knew that they knew that he carried out the attacks. America declared war on terror. This is the very famous speech of George W. Bush where he said to all the countries around the world that either you are with us or you are against us in this war. America grounded its troops in Afghanistan, carried out several attacks, and overthrew Taliban, which is the present day government in Afghanistan. And we all knew it just went for more than 20 years or maybe 20 years, and in 2021, all the troops were withdrawn, right? So, America declared the war on terror, and we all knew that what had happened in the last 20 years, right? So today, this is a very famous statue which was gifted to the United States in lieu of this attack on World Trade Center, which defines pain and grief. You can see a tear of drop is dropping down, and you can see how this building is designed, right? Today, at the very same place, there is like a memorial setup where they have written the name of each and every um, victims of the terror attack. You can see those flags and the people coming there and just reliving their memories of the lost ones. So, yes, indeed, it was a very gruesome attack, and many people lost their life. Approximately 3,000 people lost their life, and one plane crashed into the ground somewhere near Pennsylvania, and all the passengers on board were killed. Of course, the two aeroplanes which crashed into the World Trade Tower, all the passengers were killed. One plane crashed into the Pentagon. So it was a total chaos. So this is the end of this lecture, and if you want more lecture like this, please comment it down, and I will definitely make lectures on those topics as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.